Today, we're exploring a topic that has fascinated believers and spiritual seekers alike for centuries: the idea that Christ resides within us. And I'm excited to be joined by who has some profound insights to share on this subject. Many of us have been taught to believe that Christ is an external presence, a figure we pray to, worship, or seek guidance from. But what if I told you that the truth might be much closer than you think? That Christ's presence is not just something we can connect with outside of ourselves, but rather, it's a living, breathing part of who we are. When we think about it, recognizing or feeling the presence of Christ in our lives can be a real struggle. We go to church, we read our Bibles, we pray, but sometimes, despite our best efforts, we just can't seem to tap into that sense of connection. It's as if there's a disconnect between our spiritual pursuits and our everyday experiences. We might wonder if we're doing something wrong, or if we're just not good enough. Sometimes, the absence of that connection can be really painful. We might feel lost, alone, or uncertain about our purpose. We search for answers, for a sense of direction, but it's hard to find when we're not tuned into that inner presence. And then, there are those moments when we do feel connected, but it's fleeting, and we struggle to hold on to it. So, how do we bridge that gap? How do we move beyond the intellectual understanding of Christ's presence to a deep, heartfelt connection that transforms our lives? That's what I want to explore with today. One of the most beautiful things I've learned about Christ's presence within is that it's not just a theoretical concept, but a living, breathing reality that can be experienced and felt. From personal experiences to spiritual practices, there are so many ways we can cultivate this connection and invite Christ to be a more intimate part of our lives. For this connection has been a game changer. Through her own spiritual journey, she's discovered that experiencing Christ within is not just about feeling holy or righteous, but about embracing our true nature as sons and daughters of God. It's about recognizing that we're not just broken individuals trying to get it right, but rather, we're already whole, already complete, and already connected to the divine. One of the most powerful insights shared with me is that our struggles to feel Christ's presence often stem from our own self-rejection. We think we're not good enough, not worthy, or not holy enough to connect with God, and so we push Him away. But the truth is, Christ is not just a presence outside of us, but a presence that dwells within us, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be loved. As I so beautifully put it, the only way to experience Christ within is to embrace our own divinity, to recognize that we're not separate from God, but a part of Him. This statement resonated deeply with me, and I think it's a powerful reminder that our spiritual connection is not something we need to strive for, but rather, it's something we need to surrender to. As we wrap up this conversation, I want to leave you with a sense of hope and encouragement. Recognizing Christ's presence within us isn't always easy, but it's worth it. It's worth the struggle, the doubts, and the fears. Because on the other side of that journey is a life of purpose, of meaning, and of deep connection with the divine. Thanks for joining me on this exploration of Christ within. If you resonated with anything shared today, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you're hungry for more spiritual discussions, be sure to check out our next video on cultivating inner peace in a chaotic world.